We're continuing with the 8th chapter of The Dark Secret of Weatherend by John Bellairs. Anthony, Miss Eels, and her brother Emerson were driven home by taxi from the Rolling Stone Library after their encounter at the Borkman estate. However, something is up with Emerson because he no longer thinks that Borkman is an evil wizard. He just thinks that he is a scientist messing with the weather, and both Anthony and Miss Eels are on edge, not to mention that Anthony was out a little bit too late, lost a jacket, escaping from a pile of razor-sharp leaves, and isn't sure what to tell his parents. When Anthony got home, he discovered that his worst fears had come true. His mother was furious. It seemed that she had been calling everyone to find out where he was, including noisy Mrs. Schweikart, who had told her that she had seen Anthony heading up Pine Street toward Mrs. Eels's house earlier in the day. If there was anything that Mrs. Monday hated, it was lying, and she told Anthony that, well, he could go to school and work at the library in the afternoons, otherwise he had to stay at home for 2 whole weeks. "And I hope you realize that I'm doing this to teach you a lesson," she said. "I don't like making up stories and sneaking around. Most of all, I don't like your hanging around with somebody who is such a bad influence. Everybody in town is talking about that old Miss Eels and how crazy she is. Why do you want to pal around with a screwball like that? Aren't you ashamed of yourself?" "Yes, Mom," said Anthony. But actually, he wasn't ashamed at all. He went upstairs to his room and bolted the door. Then he sat down in his bed and cried. How could his mother be so unfair? How could she have misjudged Miss Eels so terribly? Miss Eels was a wonderful person who was in a lot of trouble, and all Mrs. Monday could say was that she was a nut. In the midst of his anger and tears, Anthony wondered what his mom would have said if he had told her about the trip out to the Borkman estate. "Yes, Mom, we're trying to save the world from a crazy guy who's using magic statues to cause terrible weather." Anthony smiled through his tears as he imagined his mother chuckling at this. She would think he was just joking around. The trouble was, the stuff about Borkman was true. Anthony relapsed into gloom again. What were they going to do? They had tried Emerson's plan and it had failed. He and Miss Eels had found the holes in the statues, but now Emerson insisted that there was no need to destroy them, that Borkman was not evil, as they had thought. Emerson's change of heart was very confusing. It had left Anthony worried and disheartened. Could there be something wrong with him? Had he been hypnotized by Borkman, or was Emerson simply smarter than Anthony? Did he know things that Anthony and Miss Eels didn't? Anthony's brain was whirling. Nothing made sense anymore. With a shuddering sob, he pulled himself together. He blew his nose loudly and started undressing. He wanted to take a shower and then go sit in his pajamas in front of the TV set with his father and brother until it was time to go to bed. But suddenly Anthony heard something, a rattling sound like rain against the window pane, only louder. He rushed to the window and looked down into the yard. Under the apple trees, bathed in the light of a cold, frosty moon, stood a small, shadowy figure. Terror clutched at Anthony's heart. Who or what was down there waiting for him? Anthony forced himself to look again, and then he almost laughed. It was Miss Eels. Quickly, he raised the window and stuck his head out. "Anthony," Miss Eels called hoarsely, "come on down. I need to talk to you. It's important." And that is the end of Chapter 8.